And I am mean to her. I am mean to my mom. She'll be like, you're emotionally abused. Like, no, I'm just being mean to my sister when my sister threatened to put me out on the street multiple times. And I'll be mean to her. And I'll say things to her like, you should have aborted your baby. What do you mean?
Disability when you talk, claiming all these things being
now I'm pretending to be disabled. There was another time where I was babysitting my nephew and my sister was coming to pick him up. I was topless as per usual, and she criticized me as if to imply that me sitting comfortably in my body was a threat to her child. Meanwhile, my nephew didn't mind at all. In fact, he really enjoyed drumming on my stomach for fun. Unlike prejudiced adults, my nephew respected my body and didn't find me scary, but fun to be around.
Toya Orcale is a trans TikTok creator that is known for making videos with their horrid takes and also their predatory actions on TikTok as well. Their first video to get popular would be a video basically talking about if you're black, Asian, fat, or a part of the LGBTQ, all of the things and above, you owe him money. Basically, if you're breathing and living on this earth, you owe this person money. Like, literally just for existing, you owe this person money.
If you are lighter than me, you are colorist. You are my oppressor, and you owe me reparations. If you are thinner than me, you are fatphobic. You are my oppressor, and you owe me reparations. If you have more money, more material resources than me, then you are classist, and you owe me reparations. If you are American, then you are my imperialist. You are my oppressor, and you owe me reparations. If you are from the West, if you are of European descent, then you are racist. You are my oppressor, and you owe me reparations. If you are able-bodied, then you are ableist. You are my oppressor and you owe me reparations. If you do not live with a chronic illness, then you participate in healthism. You are my oppressor and you owe me reparations. If you are cisgender, then you participate in upholding patriarchy. You are my oppressor and you owe me reparations. If you are heterosexual, then you also participate in patriarchy. You are my oppressor and you owe me reparations. If you have a looser hair texture than me, then you are texturist. You are my oppressor and you owe me reparations. I do not need your pity. I do not need your sympathy. And I do not need your guilt. I need you to acknowledge the position of power that you hold and use it to change the power dynamics in the relationship you have with me. You owe me reparations.
The bizarre part is that many people thought that Toya was trolling or rage baiting or simply attention seeking. But no, this person was being completely serious when saying those things that they listed in their video. Many of Toya's opinions or takes that he's made on TikTok are actually insane and crazy. I'm going to get into his bizarre takes later within this video, but I want to talk about his begging/laziness. Toya has no job, and the only way this person makes money is by begging online.
I just finished the last of my food and I need help with groceries for the next week until my Patreon funds drop. I'm trying to raise at least $50 to feed myself and Seba since we do meal planning together so that we can eat for the next week. So I'm going to drop our payment information above. Please donate whatever you can. And for the last 30 seconds, I'm going to sing a song I wrote called Sapling, which you can find on Bandcamp at Sounds from Guinea.
He basically leeches off his mother and people on the internet, and apparently this is one of Toya's biggest accomplishments and dream in life.
Should I say that I did nothing with my life? Rest isn't nothing. That has actually been one of my goals for a long time, to rest more. So I'm very happy for your sister who, was permanently disabled and decided to fulfill her dreams by going back to school and, working in healthcare. Good for her. We don't have the same dreams. My dream was to rest. My dream was to have people paying for me to rest. And yeah, I've met those goals. I have been able to raise thousands of dollars for myself over the years to rest, to stay housed, to feed myself. I actually was able to fulfill my dream of becoming a musician, and I dropped 2 albums. I was able to fulfill my dream of pursuing art and painting and drawing, and I learned, tattooing. I learned so many things about myself. Just because my idea of success is different from yours doesn't mean that it's not success.
You need to call the cops on your own child when you know what happens to black people in this country.
You want to go viral, girl. That's what you did.
What do you mean?
Disability when you talk, claiming all these things being
now I'm pretending. I'm pretending to be disabled.
Yes.
I'm pretending to be disabled.
You want to go viral so you can have lots of views.
Apparently you want to go viral. You want to go viral.
Facebook viral.
You want to go viral.
She wants to go live, and have many likes, many views. That's what she wants.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want for my mother. For my mother. For my mother to call the cops on me. For my mother to threaten to call the cops on me. So that's what I want.
You are fake. Fake. You are completely fake, claiming disability. You have an appointment with the disability office.
Yep.
And you can walk up and down and do everything.
Okay.
You purchase your food every day on.
Oh wow! Oh wow! So I'm trying to survive. You're upset because I'm trying to survive. That's what you're upset about. That's what you're upset about. That I'm trying to survive.
Go fund me every day. No.
Oh, you're upset that I'm trying to survive, and I'm fake. I'm faking my disability.
Yes, you are. Yes,
and I'm buying food to eat.
You go up and down the stairs. There's lots of food in the house. Fridge. Amazon delivers for you every day.
Wow! Oh my God!
Every day. Maybe you make.
What a crime! What a crime! What a crime for me to get food to eat because y'all barely eat. Y'all stay here. Oh, you're so obsessed with being thin that you don't even. You're so obsessed. You're so obsessed with being thin that you can't eat that you don't even. And you expect me to starve with you. You expect me to starve with you. And I'm not going to starve. I'm going to eat. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What a crime. Oh, wow. What a crime that I want to eat.
Munchausen by proxy. That's what they call it. Munchausen by proxy. You are faking a disability.
This is a doctor. This is a doctor who's telling her child that she's faking a disability. Munchausen. Now you just want to make diagnoses at this point.
Toya's mother has helped him out a lot. She bought Toya a whole entire house and put his name under it. And Toya's mother most likely pays the bills as well because Toya doesn't have a job. Well, he had a job, but he quit to beg online. He had no reason to quit his job. He just simply quit because he wanted to. His family is good financially, and the fact that his mother did all these things for him while he's unemployed and he leeches off her and then proceeds to treat her like trash is pretty insane. Another thing I want to bring up is Toya and their victim mentality. When you have a slight disagreement or when you have a different opinion about something rather than the same opinion as Toya, he will start to get mad and call you names and try to pin you as an evil person. Just look at this clip.
And this is such an important conversation to have, and it actually reminded me of an experience I had a few years ago that made me feel really icky, and now I understand why this person did not respect my yes. So I had a friend over, and, we were hanging out, eating food. We had taken some shrooms, having a good time. And I'm feeling good, I'm feeling light, I'm feeling pleasure in my body, and I asked them if they were interested in engaging in a with me. And to this they responded, it was like some chess play for the algorithm. And they asked me in return, what do you think? And I was just stunned because I have never ever heard somebody ask a question to my question before, especially when my question is a yes or no question. And I remember just saying no, confused, and they said right answer. And that moment made me feel really icky. But because I didn't get any kind of explanation from them, I kind of just put it off as maybe it was just the right time, the vibes weren't right, whatever the case may be. But a couple months later, I asked this person if they would like to engage, and I was abruptly ghosted. And I ended up confronting them a few months after that, and I'm just like, what is going on? Why did you ghost me when I asked you this question? And then they accused me of objectifying them. But now, after many, many years of processing, I realized that this person was uncomfortable with my direct communication around. Because of their inability to be direct about their needs and wants and their own no, they were uncomfortable with my yes. They were uncomfortable with me stating directly what I needed and wanted. And instead of acknowledging their own lack, they projected onto me, and they accused me of objectifying them, and they judged me for having.
Another topic that I want to bring up about Toya is how Toya Orcale wants people that are not of age to be able to access explicit content. For some reason, Toya wants people that aren't of age to see this type of content badly. He's made several videos trying to justify it and fight tooth and nail when people argue towards him about it.
Well, one of my mutuals who is now blocked, and also they're a light-skinned person, that's not a loss at all. It's clearing out the trash. Commented that, while they think that children should have access to education, they shouldn't have access. How do you think they're going to get that education if they do not have access? They need to know what a looks like, and they need to know what a looks like, and they need to know what genitalia looks like. They need to know what, the proper methods to engage in intercourse, which means that they're going to have to be looking at what the fuck you mean. And of course, it could be supervised. So we can talk about, giving children access to, and it being supervised, right? But y'all are just saying, oh no, they shouldn't have. How do you think that?
The thing is, in school, they teach everything about the body and reproductive organs. Also, there was a comment on that post that I totally agree with, where it just says a good majority of porn content is fake. It's simply just a fantasy, and it's not what actually happens when you do the devil's tango. Corn can be incredibly unhealthy and affect the brain at a young age.
When I was around 8 years old and my sister was around 7, we were being babysat by our great-grandmother. She had a guest over, they were in the living room talking, watching shows, while my sister and I were plotting in her bedroom. We ran out of her bedroom, we pulled down our pants, and we mooned our great-grandmother and her guest, and we ran away laughing. That is an example of childhood. Often we see sex as intercourse, when in reality, is about eroticism and pleasure in our bodies and can look a multitude of different ways. We pulled down our pants and mooned our great grandmother and her guests because it brought us pleasure.
Like I said earlier, Toya is fighting both tooth and nail to try to justify and normalize this disgusting behavior. And the fact that he's saying he got pleasure from mooning his great grandma and her guest is incredibly foul, disgusting, and disrespectful. This shouldn't be something to be proud of. Also, if you've been watching clips of Toya, you probably realize that he hasn't been wearing a shirt at all. Toya believes his quote-unquote tatas should be free, which is, I guess, is fine if you do it in your own home. But no, he didn't do it in his own home.
This person is blocked already because I'm just laughing because this is the same language when I was just walking around our home without a shirt on. And so it became my new performer name, on the hub and on OF. So if y'all want to know where to find me, Indecent Exposure. I'll put the name up here.
There was another time where I was babysitting my nephew and my sister was coming to pick him up. I was topless, as per usual, and she criticized me as if to imply that me sitting comfortably in my body was a threat to her child. Meanwhile, my nephew didn't mind at all. In fact, he really enjoyed drumming on my stomach for fun. Unlike prejudiced adults, my nephew respected my body and didn't find me scary, but fun to be around.
Like I said earlier, Toya has this victim mentality where he's trying to pin these people as the weirdos and disgusting creeps, when in reality, he's the creep.
I want people to really ask themselves, what disturbs your spirit so much about the idea of a child also being a being? What disturbs your spirit so much about the idea of a child watching a consensual act? What meaning are you attaching to that act? What meaning are you attaching to it? And where does that meaning that you have attached to it come from? Why is it not okay for people, and I'm specifically talking about youth, to engage in a act or to view in a that is for pleasure? I would much rather myself, when I was 12, be engaging in a consensual act for pleasure, engaging in safe X, using protection, understanding my body, understanding how to engage in sex safely, understanding having corn media literacy.
It blows my goddamn mind that Toya is dead trying to justify this, and the fact that Toya is trying so hard to put this in a perspective where middle schoolers are adults speaks volumes itself. I really don't have to say too much. Luckily, Toya has gotten banned on TikTok several times, and he keeps trying to make attempts to come back on the platform, but he eventually gets banned again, and most likely it's going to happen on his newer account that he has now. Overall, this dude is incredibly creepy and disturbing, trying to push his disgusting takes online and trying to pin us as the weirdos when in reality he's the weirdo. But this was the story of Toya Orcale. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.